what the fuck that was. All right, we still here with that one. Yeah, we still there. Okay. All right, we back. All right, we should got kicked in. YouTube still on the anime. There we go. There we go. Shit, I can't. No, it's just how that is. All right. Yeah, we back. We back. We back. Give it a little bit. Hello. Okay. No, no, I had to take a call. I had to take a call. Y'all can hear me now, right? Can y'all hear me now? All right. Cool. Yeah, I see. I guess that was a Myron Gaines bot. That was a Myron Gaines bot that was in here. I'd be shocked if that was the actual Myron Gaines. I'd be shocked. But yeah, like I was saying, like before we had to, I guess Kick was gone. But like I said, as a parent, I have to be like, son, no, this is inappropriate. You got to stop. All right, I understand. Okay, nobody understands more than your father over here. Okay, but you got to end this relationship with this teacher. I would even take him up there. I'd have a talk with the teacher. Like, look, okay, I understand my son is a stud. All right, and you just had to have it. But this shit can't happen. If this shit continues, I have to fucking turn you in. All right, lady. All right. So we gonna act like this shit didn't happen, and we're gonna move on. Now, if it's my daughter, I gotta beat the brakes off this nigga. I'm beat this nigga's ass. And yes, it's a double standard. I get it. But 16-year-old Cannon, 17-year-old Cannon, he understands. He understands. He understands, okay? All right? Because 17-year-old Cannon, 16-year-old Cannon would have 100% participated in those activities. All right? 100%. I know myself. 100% would have cracked that teacher. Okay? Difference between me and this kid, I wouldn't have said a fucking word. Nobody would have found out a goddamn thing out. Period. To the grave it would have went. Or at least until the statute of limitations was up. I'm just saying, all right? I'm just saying. You know, it's not Canon Hotep. Canon Hotep does not condone pedophilia. for any of those things. All right. All right. I think it's something about this story that brings back some sort of nostalgia in guys, where it's like, damn, I remember being that age and hope, Miss Washington, Miss Jackson would have pressed up on me like that. You know? You know what I mean? I'm just saying. I think that's mostly what it is, though. I think most guys look at that shit like, yo, when I was 16, yo, I used to hope, I used to dream, like Nerd said, I used to dream for this shit to go down. Well, I'm sure, Reba, I'm not for the pedophile stuff, okay? All right, I'm just saying, like, it's I guess, like I said, it's some, I don't know, it's it was every boy's dream to knock down the teacher. What's the one song? Is it Aerosmith? Hot for Teacher? Was that? That's not Aerosmith. Was that Aerosmith? Who sang Hot for Teacher? Who sang Hot for Teacher? I'm hot for teacher. Remember that? Who sang that? Van Halen. I appreciate that. Van Halen. I had a teacher. I was just too naive. I might have been. I might have been. I might have been. But in all reality of things, this teacher will be going to jail. She will be on some registry. She will be on the sex offenders registry. I don't know what's going to happen to the dad. Do y'all think the dad should be arrested and charged as well? Because in the story they said the father was arrested as well. You think he should be arrested and charged for knowing about the situation and not doing anything about it? Because that also kind of lends to the fact that the father gave the consent, right? In some weird way, it's like, all right, well, the dad gave consent for this to be a thing. You know what I mean? So, like, you think the dad should be charged as well, or arrested and charged? No, you don't think the dad should be arrested and charged? Oh, hell no, I wouldn't have shared that shit, Reba. I wouldn't have said a word. Mess up a good thing? Hell no. Like, common sense tells you that, right? Like, common sense be like, yo, if I start fucking running my mouth about this shit could go bad. I'm not fucking this up. like, you know what I mean? What they say, real G's move in silence like lasagna. Okay? I'm not saying shit. Like I said, unless the statute lives, like a couple of my friends who actually did that shit, like we had one or two guys in high school that actually cracked the teacher. Alright? Well, we had two guys crack the same teacher. They didn't know that she was busting both of them. But we ain't find that shit out till we was like 20. We was like 20 years old, and niggas was drinking and chilling, and they say, hey, yo, you know such and so, it's such and so. Yeah, got that. Like, oh, are you fucking serious? Like, yeah, yo, we was smoking, and we was smoking on lunch, and then I busted in the back of her. I was like, get the fuck out of here, that's crazy. But it was like 20 years old. Like, that shit was years removed. You know what I mean? Like, these kids gotta fucking notify and post and do all this shit. I don't know how they got caught, but I'm just gonna assume the kid was running his mouth, and one of his friends ran their mouth to somebody, and somebody ran their mouth to the authorities. (2026) canon, yes, 2026 canon understands the stipulations and the consequences behind it, right? I don't want my kids in a bad situation, none of that shit. 2000s canon would have 100% bust the teacher down that shit known that she was trying to get the gooping, okay? If she was letting that shit, putting that shit out there in the fucking ether, yeah, I'm sorry. Man, listen. I'm just saying. And all right, so question, right? What about y'all? 16, 17-year-old you. Your teacher come up and approach you. And I like you and I want you. What y'all doing? Hey, what's up? Good. You too. What y'all doing? What the fuck is this? I tell you, I got your work cut out for y'all, mods. Y'all got your work cut out for y'all, for real. They be tripping in the chat. Oh, you was balling. You had the X. See, you had the. Reba said she had a coach who liked it, but nope. And the fucked up part is, Reba, is that like that shit can't fly with me. That's the fucked up part. That shit can't fly with me. Like, some fucking coach was trying to get my daughter. Man, this nigga gotta have squabbles, okay? We gotta have squabbles, okay? That's the crazy part. I'm just saying, like, it's hey. Like I said, the dog cannon is like, son, I might have to high five him first. But like, you gotta cut that shit out, son. You end that relationship. That shit has to stop. Don't you fucking tell your mother a goddamn thing, okay? This shit gotta stop. We're gonna go to the school tomorrow. I'm gonna have a talk with this teacher, and y'all gonna end this relationship, son, okay? Now look, I'm not trying to fucking rain on your parade, all right? I'm not trying to piss in your Cheerios, son. But this shit can go south really fast, all right? All right? And now that you've told me, I have to stop it, son. I have to stop it. You've told me, you have included me in this fucking shenanigans, and now I have to do the right thing. We're gonna go to the school, and we're gonna tell the teacher she's gotta stop. If she doesn't stop, then I have to put her, I have to get her arrested. I have to report her to the authorities. All right, son. Now now look, okay, I understand, I get it. I Lord knows I get it, son. But now you've included me in this bullshit, and now I have to fucking stop it. All right. I don't know why you thought you should have told me this shit. I guess you thought that I would be proud of you, and I'm not saying I'm not. I'm not saying I'm not. But what I'm saying is yeah, I'm not going down for this bullshit, and you gonna cut this shit out, okay, son? This is not healthy, okay? It is not healthy, all right? All right? Dad, what would you have done in my situation? That's not the point, son. That's besides the point, son. What I would have done in your situation is besides the point. What I'm saying now is this shit is inappropriate and it has to stop now. Okay? Now, you're not in trouble. Okay? You're not in trouble. All right? Matter of fact, let's go get some ice cream or something. Let's go shoot some guns or something. But you're not in trouble. But this shit gotta stop. Oh yeah, she's crazy. But look at her, right? I'm not saying because she's attractive. How old do you think she is? God damn it. How old do you think she is? She almost looked like a student. Right? How old do you think she is? I'm gonna go out on a limb and say that she is late 20s, maybe. Yeah, like 27. I ain't gonna say 22. I'm gonna say like 20. I'm gonna say she's between 26 and 30 years old. That's what I'm gonna say. I'm gonna say she's between 26 and 30 years. She could pass for a student. She's young. All the teachers I knew that I could crack in high school, possibly, they were like 25, 26 years old. They were young teachers. They were new teachers. They was new teachers. Oh, Jeremiah, you just coming in? Well, apparently this teacher, she has been arrested for having a sexual relationship with her student, and the father of the student has been arrested for knowing about the relationship and not saying anything. That's where we're at. But most of the teachers, like all of the teachers actually, when I was in high school, and I graduated in 2003. Yeah, 2003. They were in their 20s, and when I say 20s, mid-20s. I remember one time, the new teachers, like the new ones that were just coming into school, I don't know why they were at our football practice, but they came to football practice for something. I forgot why. And I heard one of them teachers behind me comment on me because, you know, a nigga was jacked and tan with the abs and all that shit. Okay? And I heard her go, damn, how old is he? I heard her. And she was a looker. And I pretended like I didn't hear it. I heard her. Because back when we played football, niggas look like, you ever seen the movie The Program? We're going to watch The Program on the channel one day too. It was like The Program, right? We would come out there, we had to cut off sleeves, right? We had to cut off sleeves, and then we had the crop top. We had to cut off sleeves with the crop top, because for one, it was fucking 95 degrees outside. It was hot as shit. And we had tour days and stuff. So, we had the mesh jerseys, but under the mesh jerseys, we had to cut off sleeves with the crop top. Abs showing and shit. You know what I mean? And I looked like something back in the day. I wasn't a bad looking young man back in the day, okay? I wasn't a bad looking young man back in the day. All right? I'm old and fat now, but back then, I'm just saying. And I heard her go, damn, how old is he? When I walked past, going onto the field. Female teachers are new sexual predators now. That's what it sounds like. Oh, damn, this came on. Oh, sorry. Can y'all hear me? One in the chat if y'all can hear me. One in the chat if y'all can hear me. All right. No, Darren said we was dressed like female version of Britney Spears. Look, back in the day, this is when it'd be hot as shit outside, and it was not mandatory. It was not mandatory to give us fucking water breaks. Okay? Water breaks was not, you may or may not have gotten one. Okay? So we had to dress for the fucking weather. Okay? We already got on all of 10 pounds, 15 pounds of equipment. You got, and it's hot. All right? All right, it was fucking hot. We all did it. Everybody did it. Across schools, this is what it was. All right? All right? Period, full stop. It was fucking hot. We ain't start getting water breaks till them two football players died of dehydration. It was like these two football players in Maryland had died from dehydration. Now, granted, it's because they was loading creatine. They was loading that shit. Like, you could take creatine as a maintenance, or you can load it, right? Bodybuilders load that shit, but if you load creatine, right, you have to drink like a gallon of water, like a day, or else it was gonna fuck you up because it'll dehydrate you. So these kids was loading creatine, and these niggas died because they wasn't getting like frequent water breaks. You know what I mean? Frequent water breaks. Yeah, it's back. Yeah, exactly. You need like, and coaches wasn't giving us water, but after they died across the county, they was like, you have to give at least 3 water breaks every every hour. Every hour we had to get a water break. So, but practice was like 4 hours or 3 hours or something like that, or 4 hours. Like, what was practice? No practice. Yeah, so it was 4 hours for the in the morning and 4 hours in the afternoon for 2 days. So for in the morning we had to have at least 3 water breaks. In the afternoon practice we had to have at least 3 water breaks. Right? And that was mandatory after them 2 students died. You know? Oh my gosh. Jesus, Mary and Joseph. Where are all these trolls coming from? Can y'all at least give like a fucking can y'all gift a sub at least? If y'all gift some subs, y'all can troll all y'all want. Y'all can bot it up all y'all want. You know what I mean? Somebody get Langley 19 out of here because they're just spamming the chat now. They're just spamming the chat, which is ridiculous. Somebody get them out of the paint, please. I appreciate it. Boy, we have Myron Gaines in here. We got a Candace troll. This is crazy. Jared, I'm gonna give you. I'm gonna get you. I'm gonna make you and Josh moderators later. I wish I could do it in the chat, but I can't because it is the app. Kick, I need y'all to create a y'all app guy. You got to upgrade your app so we can stream from the app. At one point, they had the ability to stream from the Kick app, and then they took it away. You know, well, let's use a term like gifted sub, gifted sub. Let's gifted subs. God damn it! Let me bring the gift bots in. Gosh dang it! I'm broke. We got the grifties coming up. Okay, got the grifties coming up. But yeah, anyway, but yeah, like I guess like yeah, like I said, adult me. Clearly, I had to put an end to that shit. The female teacher might get a little more leniency, or she will get more leniency than the adult male teacher. The adult male teacher has to fucking die. Me and him gonna have squabbles. I'm gonna have to beat him within an inch of his life before I call the authorities. The teacher get a warning. The teacher will get a warning. Okay. All right. Oh my god, I ain't even used that term in here yet. I ain't even used that term in here today. That's the funny part. Anyway, I just thought that was interesting because, like I said, you know, I was reading and I was like, damn, that's crazy. And Jeremiah said, I was like, yo, that's crazy. Like these female teachers is out of pocket. Like this is we hear more about female teachers getting caught for having relationships with students than male teachers as of late. Like I haven't really seen any like real stories about male teachers having inappropriate relationships with female students. It's been a lot of female teachers having inappropriate relationships with male students, right? And I'm just sitting there, and then I thought, I was like, you know what? And I wanted to ask the question: if you found out your kid or your son was having an inappropriate sexual relationship with a teacher, what would you do? Would you treat it differently than your daughter? Right? Would you treat it differently than your daughter? I know I would. Like I said, that nigga got died. He gets no quarter here. There are fewer male teachers as well. Yeah, but it's like even like it was fewer male teachers when I was coming up, right? Like I said, I graduated from high school in 2020, 2003. It was fewer male teachers then, but it was still the scandals was mostly male teachers. We might have had like 1 or 2 female teachers sprinkled in there, maybe, but like it was always a male teacher scandal. It was a couple of male teachers that in my school alone, I think it was at least 3 teachers that got or got caught fucking around. There's at least 3 teachers that got caught fucking around. Male teachers that caught fucking around with students in my 4 years of high school. Never really heard much about like female teachers doing this shit, but now is I don't know what the fuck you think it is. You know, you think the female teachers just wasn't getting prosecuted back then? Where's that at? La Serena. Where's that at? It's more common for the girls to be fucking the guys. A lot of male teachers in the Bay. It's the hormones and the steroids and the food. It's a lot, yo. I'm just like, damn. And then I thought about it. I was like, because my initial response was to be like, you know, this was this dumb bitch get. But then it was like, I'd have fucked her when I was 16, though. And then I was like, how would I feel if I found out Hunter was getting it in with a teacher? And then I thought about it. My son's on the spectrum. He's a little naive. I would have to fucking I'm calling the authorities on that teacher. But then I was like, what would my fault? What would Kevin have done if he found out I was busing a teacher? And I legitimately was like, I don't think my dad would have been mad, but he would have put an end to that shit. I don't think my dad would have been mad, but I think he would have put an end to that shit. Like, he would have like, nah, this shit you can't, nah, son, like, you can't, like, he'd have put an end to it, but he wouldn't have been mad at me. Now my mother, she probably would have beat that bitch up and called the police. My mother might have called the police before she got there, before she killed that bitch. My father, nah. And I was like, I wonder, you know, what everybody else would have done. Like you found out your kid. Like it's a valid question, you know what I mean? Because there is a double standard there. You know, you can call it double standard or whatever you wanna however you wanna justify. Like our daughters, that shit is a no fucking go. But our sons, we start looking at the nuance of the shit. It's like, you know what I mean? My friends would have been jealous, and my dad would have been proud. Yeah, that's what we were saying, Rick. Right? So I think that's probably how they got caught. Like he was running his mouth to his friends, and I'm not gonna say one of his friends might have been jealous. Maybe a friend was jealous and he snitched on him, or a friend ran his mouth to some other motherfuckers, and then somebody else got jealous or whatever, and then they snitched on it, and then that's what happened. You know, but are we wrong? I don't know. That's the thing, right? That's and I was thinking about that too. Like, are we wrong for feeling like we would kind of, it would be some semblance of pride for our son that conquered a fucking unicorn, which is a teacher. You know, like Montoya, what would you like? Reba said she would have had a talk with the teacher and her son, and then had that shit stop. What would you have done, Montoya? I want to know if you found out your son was cracking a teacher in high school, what would you have done in that situation? I feel like nowadays most people would be like, "Thank God, my son." I was wondering. I was wondering where he was leaning. God damn it. You know what I mean? Like, well, I want to know Montoya. See, Montoya be on that same time my mother I would have fucked up and called the police. Montoya would have drug her into the precinct by her hair. Uh, yeah, 100%, Darren. I will say that. You're right. We can't have these teachers preying on helpless boys. You're right. You're right. I agree with you on that. You know, You think a lot of people be like, let's take it to the bank, like on some extortion shit? Somebody brought that up before. I hear you, Jeremiah. Jeremiah with the scripture. So I'm a blackmail him. That is true. So you think, yeah, it's true. Like I said, shit could go south. You know what I mean? Grown women tried it. Yeah, yeah. Mm-hmm. A couple of my mother friends used to give me a look back in the day when I was a young teen. Y'all don't know. I used to look like something back in the day. Okay, all right. I said I was all jacked and shit, and muscles and abs, and fucking Batman jaw and shit. But yeah, like I said, 16-year-old us. I think that's what like skews it, right? 16-year-old us is what skews it because we look back, right, and then we kind of like a live vicariously type situation where it's like, damn, my son pulled some shit off that I didn't pull off in high school. You know what I mean? And you kind of like, and it's fucked up because we feel that we think it like that, but then you got the adult and you has to fucking step in and be like, all right, this shit gotta stop. All right, you can't keep doing this. Is what it is. You know, a couple of my mother friends flirted with me a little bit. I remember one. I ain't gonna say that. My mother might see the stream, but I'm just saying, like, ain't never did that one, no. But but like, yeah, it's just like we start to look at it like that, right? But at the same time, you got to be an adult. You got to put that shit to an end. So when his dad found out about it, he should have killed that shit. He should have dead that shit. Now, like I said, I don't know if his father was like, fucking go for it, son. High five this nigga. Here go the keys to the ride. You know what I mean? I don't know, right? But at the same time, no, the father should have dead it. The teacher should know fucking better, right? She should know better. You know what I mean? And it's just, it's just wrong. It's wrong. You know, like I said, 16-year-old me, she'd have more than got. She'd have got the fucking gooping, but I would have shut the fuck up about it. I'm on the East Coast. I'm on the East Coast. I'm in Baltimore. I'm from Baltimore. Because I work hard at trying to mask my Baltimore accent, right? They call it code switching. I call it job security. I work hard at trying to mask my Baltimore accent. I really did. Like it used to be thick. And then like when I started getting into the fucking work world, the corporate world, I started trying to like really hide that shit. Sometimes it still come out, especially when I'm around my friends and stuff. But like, yeah. Well, shit. If you in Jersey, come on to the Grifties. All right, come on down to the Grifties. We doing our award show this weekend at Tiff's Comedy Club. This weekend at Tiff's Comedy Club. Saturday. What's Saturday's date? Shit. What's Saturday's date? The 26th. Saturday the 26th. Tiff's Comedy Club. Get your tickets at tiffscomedyclub.com. The Grifties this weekend, yo. It's gonna be a fun time. If you're in that area, come on through. Come on through. All right, it's always a great time. Always a great time. You love the Wire? Watched it 4 times. Better than me. I ain't start watching the Wire. I ain't start watching the Wire. Like when it first came out, I had friends in high school that was like casted in it, and they was like, "Yo, you should come down to the cast." And I was like, "Man, like, no, I'm good," because I lived that shit. Like a lot of like the first season was in my neck of the woods. The first season of The Wire was in my neck of the woods. So like I said, I don't want to watch the shit that I lit this shit. This shit like fucking PTSD. I didn't watch The Wire until I was like 22. I think it's when I first watched The Wire, when I was 22. That was it. Flights from California are ridiculous right now. Dang, I know it's crazy. It's the 25th. My bad. Well, so it's called the Dojo of Comedy, but it's also called Tiff's Comedy Club. So it's like the Dojo of Comedy and the Tiff's Comedy Club. It's both of them. Either one is the same. They gave me some rainbow roll. I don't know. Nah, that's back when I sounded like I was from Baltimore. Like I don't know. Probably would have been some corner boy with no speaking lines or some shit. I probably fun fact, this guy that I used to go on these like, cause I was actually a model back in the day. Like I said, I used to look like something. I was a goddamn Adonis, okay? But I used to model, and one of the guys I used to go on casting calls with, he actually, I think he was in like 2 seasons of The Wire. He actually had like a decent role. He was in there for like 2 seasons and shit. Yeah, come check it out. It's gonna be a fun time. You know, Tiff's Comedy Club. What's that? What is it, yo? East Orange, New Jersey. Is that where it is? I can't remember where it is. Like East Orange or whatever it is. They would have definitely pushed the rainbow roll on me. Oh Lord of mercy. There wasn't a lot of that shit in there. I think the only real fucking rainbow roll in that bitch was Omar. There wasn't a whole lot of that shit in there. It was just Omar, really. I think that was the only one. But yeah, nah. Season 1 was in my neck of the woods. Season 2, it had to do with where I'm at right now with the port. Season 2 had to do with the port and all of that shit. Morris Plains, thanks. Morris Plains, New Jersey. She looked like a natural druggie is wild. Oh, Fatima, she was bad. She was fine. I'm like, damn, she gay. Fatima, fine. Fatima was fine as a motherfucker. Mm, mm. That's all right, Montoya. We're gonna get you out to an event. We're gonna get you out to an event, Montoya. Oh, they was fucking what? Way wild, okay? Way wild is not even the word. Way wild is not even the word. It was some ill shit that used to go down in them strip clubs, yo. It was some ill shit that went down in them strip clubs. Like some ill shit, bro. Like it wasn't like a topless bar. These bitches got butt ass naked, and for the right price, you might have got a fucking blowjob while you eating some wings. Like that's how crazy them strip clubs here was. Yeah, Sonya Son, yeah, she's fine as a mug, boy. Yeah, that's her real name, Sonya Son. Boy, she fine, boy. Yeah, them girls, all of them for the right price, boy, they would do whatever. Listen, shit was crazy. I knew better though. I ain't fucking with them. I wasn't fucking with them women. I wasn't a fan of the strip clubs. Like I went a few times, and then it just was like, why am I just throwing my money at like why am I throwing money at women that I ain't fucking for what? And then I just never went anymore. Never went anymore. Yeah, they prefer. Yeah, yeah. You had 100, 200 on you. She was yours for the night. That's the crazy part. You know, they definitely did some. They did some strange shit for a chunk of change. Like, no sex in the champagne room was a suggestion. No sex in the champagne room was a suggestion. Okay, that was the dollar value, man. Uh, it was just a waste of money. Like I wasn't doing all that. Nah, I wasn't doing all that. I remember my homeboy got one night. Shorty was bad though. I ain't gonna front, but I was trying to tell him like, yo, chill. I think it was like the last night I ever went. Me and my homeboy went. There was a spot called what was it called? Norma Jeans. Yeah, we was in Norma Jeans, and they used to do this little thing like, once you gonna buy me a drink, and he didn't realize buying a stripper a drink and a lap dance that you got while she sat there and drank her little bullshit drink. That was like $100. I was like, nigga, I told you. Why, like, she finessed you, nigga. She finessed you. Bounced with a staff sergeant in the army. Yeah, them strip clubs is wild. But yeah, I think the last time I ever went to a strip club might have been 2004, 2005. That's when I realized I was like, this is a waste of money. Like, I'm not throwing no money at some woman I ain't busting down. This shit is crazy. For all that, I might as well just get a girlfriend. You know what I mean? Like, just saying. Just saying. I'm just saying. Anyway, that's all I got for you guys. I appreciate y'all swinging through. If you're new, hit the like, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification icon. If you're over on Kick, hit the follow button, gift the sub. Sharing is caring, guys. Every little bit goes back to the channel. We are live tomorrow night for movie night. I'm not even sure we watching yet. Last night we did an impromptu movie night with Slam and Salmon. That shit was funny. But tomorrow night we live with movie night 8:30. I don't know if we watching yet though. I don't know if we watching yet. Hmm. We'll figure it out though. We'll figure it out. We might watch Players Club. It's like nah. We'll figure it out. Did we even get? Yeah, we got to the topic. But anyway, head on over to Goldstein stream. Goldstein is streaming right now. He is streaming right now. Tell him I sent you. Anyway, until next time, it's Cannon Hotep saying, be blessed, stay strapped, don't miss, and don't worry about tomorrow, guys. Tomorrow got enough problems of its own. Worry about today. I'll let you.